I'm on the NFL for this and I'm on the Texans for this, but really it's out of their hands.
Yesterday we heard some news and rumblings of Deshaun Watson and the Philadelphia Eagles that a trade was they've been talking for a while, but where there's smoke there's fire, and it seems like the smoke was billowing with this report, on top of the fact that suspiciously he's missed practice the last couple of days after reporting. So the question is why. The Texans have been very coy about it. So it's easy to connect the dots and think, oh, they're about to trade Deshaun Watson. I can't figure out how. I don't know why the Eagles, what the investment would be, and why the certainty of that it's worth going all in, like, August 5th. As opposed to earlier in this offseason.
I think it's got to be the most conditional trade ever if you make it right now.
Has to be.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, with picks that can slide up and back a long way. We're talking Carson Wentz
and they
is
have
going to go
picks
from a first to a second. I think you're talking about a pick that could range from a first to a third, first to a fourth. If he's going to get suspended and miss the season, it's got to be a lot less valuable than if he's going to play opening day and potentially lead you to a Super Bowl or be statistically one of the best quarterbacks in the league. So I think you're talking huge sliding scale here if you do it. The guy who came out with the report that things are, I don't remember the terminology, maybe you have it in front of you, heating up, isn't somebody I've heard of before. And then Aaron Wilson, who covers the Texans very well, kind of tamped that down this morning, so I don't know. David Culley looks terrible, and I don't know who wrote this, but I entirely agree. Easterby or Caserio or McNair, in that order, reverse order, McNair or Caserio needs to have a press conference and discuss this, because they're clearly controlling what's going on with Deshaun Watson. Culley's out of the loop. And Culley's the guy answering questions every day. He looks like an idiot.
Yeah, he's not.
And he's already doesn't look good.
I don't think he's out of the loop. I think he's told that you're just going to have to deal with it until we move him.
I think he looks like they're putting a new head coach who's already in a terrible situation.
I agree.
Even if Watson is set aside, in a position to look like a stuttering fool. Because he's saying, I don't know, we'll update you tomorrow, not even talking about the injury. They need to make an organizational statement and try to put this thing to bed, and they're not approaching that at all.
Just looking at the possible trade, is Jalen Hurts a part of this?
I don't think so. I think that they want to have two quarterbacks and consider they drafted Jalen Hurts not really, I don't think, with the vision of him being a starter, certainly not now, and this would just be a good upgrade that would leave them with a good backup and a perfect plan here, Chad, if Watson disappears all of a sudden, this thing's turned criminal, that they could go back to the plan they're on right now.
So Joe Flacco, Nick Mullins, not the option you want to go with until Deshaun Watson's ready? I mean, at least with Flacco, he's done it, right?
Joe Flacco's a pretty good veteran backup who hasn't yet been.
He's not elite Joe Flacco anymore, but he's something that's got experience.
Still crazy to think that
what a description of Joe Flacco.
Watson could be traded and play. He can start week 1 right now for the Philadelphia Eagles if they trade for him.
And look, I'm on the NFL for this and I'm on the Texans for this, but really it's out of their hands. I mean, it's in the system. And the timing is bad, and these things can turn into, there's pending criminal stuff that hasn't taken off. So if a grand jury meets tomorrow and comes out with a criminal charge, everything changes. And that's not on the NFL not doing its investigation, and that's not on the Texans. Here's where the NFL makes the mistake. It thinks it's above all these court things. Oh, we can go investigate. Well, nobody's giving them the stuff that the grand jury's ultimately going to have, and nobody should give them the stuff that the grand jury's ultimately going to have. This is where the NFL thinks that it's the feds or Houston County prosecutors or whatever, and it's not. And so all of the authorities are saying to the Texans and the NFL, screw you, we're going about our business, and your football player playing or not playing is not our concern.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified every time Outkick 360 goes live. We are live weekdays, 11 a.m. Central, noon Eastern, right here across the Outkick network. And while you're at it, like this video and let us know what you think in the comments below.